Alright friends, welcome back to News Analysis and Features. This is the 39th week from 21st to 27th September. We are going to deliberate on three issues. First one is India's demand for permanent membership in United Nations Security Council. Can it become a reality? Second one is the minimum alternate tax. What do you understand by it? Third one is what do you understand by special category status? Does it have relevance after the increase in states' share of centre's divisible pool of taxes from 32% to 42% by the 14th Finance Commission? So these are three issues we are going to discuss in detail. First one is India's demand for permanent membership in United Nations Security Council, and we are going into the history of this. And all of you are well aware, United Nations was formed in the year 1945 with 5 permanent members, and present day permanent members are United States of America, United Kingdom, France, then People's Republic of China, Russian Federation. These 5 are permanent members, popularly known as the P5. They have got veto power. If someone says no, United Nations resolution cannot move. So that is called a veto power. So they are enjoying unlimited power, being the members with the veto power, and these 5 are the permanent members for the past 70 years. And during the past few decades, several countries came to the forefront economically, socially, politically, and under these circumstances, there are claims by various members, including India, to get permanent membership in United Nations Security Council. And we are going to look at it from the perspective whether it will be a reality soon or not. And if you go back to 1945, UN Charter was devised at that time, and the winners of World War II became the permanent members with the notion that being the winners, they will take care of the world as a whole. Accordingly, the present day Russia, present day China, United Kingdom, France, and United States of America became permanent members of United Nations Security Council with veto power, and at that time India was still under British control, and in the year 1947 India became independent, and subsequently nothing moved. Cold War was there between the countries led by the then USSR and United States of America, and the USSR disintegrated in the year 1991, and subsequently Cold War ended, and the demand for permanent membership in United Nations Security Council started quite off and on from 1993 and could not take shape up to 2005. And somewhere around 2004, the concept of G4 emanated. The meaning of this G4 is 4 countries: India, then Japan, Germany and Brazil. India and Japan are in Asia, then Germany is in Europe, then Brazil is in South America. These 4 countries came together to press for demand for permanent membership in United Nations Security Council, popularly known as G4 countries. And subsequently, in the year 2005, G4 summit was held, and at that time, world leaders agreed to make United Nations more effective and representative, because 2005 marks the completion of 60 years of establishment of United Nations. On the eve of that, the United Nations deliberated and leaders agreed to make it more effective and representative, but subsequently nothing moved from United Nations side. And India made an effort to reach out to other countries, and L69 group was formed. You may ask, what is L69? L69 does not contain 69 countries. L69 is basically the draft document. The name of the draft document is L69. At that time only 22 countries were there. 22 countries pressing for reforms in United Nations. The basic problem is for the past 70 years, lot of changes took place in the world. Several poor countries emerged as the nations with lot of power economically, politically, socially, but these 5 countries are continue to be permanent members for the past 70 years. And in the year 2007, an effort was made with the formation of L69 countries, and at that time there were 22 countries, and at present there are 42 developing countries in the group of L69, and India is member of both G4 as well as L69, right? And subsequently in the year 2015, substantial developments took place and negotiating text was accepted. Both G4 and L69 and other members from Africa, Eastern Europe, making together total of 122 countries agreed on the negotiating text on how to reform the United Nations Security Council. Please don't forget, this is the text of July 31, which was agreed to by consensus on September 14. That is known as the negotiating text. This negotiating text will be deliberated in United Nations General Assembly. And meanwhile, G4 summit was held. We have already discussed, G4 are 4 countries. G4 summit was held at the head of government level. I have already told you 2005 to 2015, head of government level of G4 could not be held, and in the year 2015, heads of government of 4 nations met, and this is popularly known as G4 summit to press for permanent membership in United Nations Security Council for these 4 countries. And further, wider discussions on this negotiating text to take place in United Nations General Assembly, and negotiations should take place till the final conclusion is arrived at. Right? And now look at the issue. What are the bottlenecks for the countries to become permanent members of Security Council? First one is unwillingness on the part of the present permanent members, popularly known as P5, to dilute their power, because they have got veto power. Who want to dilute their power? So they are not willing to dilute their powers. The second important aspect is lot of geopolitical problems across the world. Jealousy, conflicts, differences in principles among various countries, and one country is dragging the feet of another country. If you want specifically, India's permanent membership may not be acceptable to Pakistan. Similarly, Japan's permanent membership may not be acceptable to China and South Korea. Germany may not be accepted by Italy. The rivals within that continent are dragging the feet of other countries. Brazil may not be acceptable to Argentina. Like that, regional players are there who do not want the permanent membership to their rivals. Right? So, under these circumstances, only time can say how much time it will take to become a reality for India to get permanent membership. Look at the next issue, minimum alternate tax. What do you understand? What is meant by minimum alternate tax? Minimum alternate tax, before going into it, I would like to deliberate. There are 2 issues. One is Companies Act, second one is Income Tax Act. Companies bound to follow guidelines under Companies Act. But when it comes to income tax, they have to pay income tax based on Income Tax Act 1961. Right? And there are companies which are getting more profits, and at the same time they are declaring dividends to its shareholders. Shareholders will get dividends by the companies if there is more profit. and healthy financial indicators. Profit and loss statement shows that hefty profits are there. That is as far as Companies Act is concerned. But when it comes to Income Tax Act, their taxable income is much less in comparison to book profit. Book profit is very high, but their taxable income is very less. Why? Why there is dichotomy? The dichotomy between book profit and taxable income is because of the reason several companies enjoy many concessions in this country. Because of various concessions, deductions given and allowed by the government, though their book profit is very high, their taxable income is very less because of several deductions, concessions, investment allowance, depreciation allowance. Like that, governments will allow several allowances, and because of that, taxable income is very less in comparison to book profits. That's why they are not paying much taxes. And government, after understanding this, in the year 1996 brought this minimum alternate tax, and the companies are required to pay the maximum of these two. First one is income tax computed based on the taxable income. Second one is minimum alternate tax of 18.5% based on the book profits as per section 115JB of Income Tax Act. As per Income Tax Act, clause 115JB, minimum alternate tax at 18.5% will be calculated based on the book profits. And here, based on the taxable income, income tax will be calculated, and the greater of these two, they have to pay to the government. The greater of these two, income tax or minimum alternate tax, is to be paid by the companies to the government. Basic purpose of minimum alternate tax is companies, though they are getting more profits, but they are not paying much tax to the government because of several concessions enjoyed by them. Because of several concessions, their taxable income is coming much less in comparison to the book profit. That's why, as an alternate arrangement, this minimum alternate tax at 18.5% was brought. Right? And there was controversy when notices were given to foreign portfolio investors. Foreign portfolio investors are the investors who invest in Indian stock market, and whenever they want, they will invest subject to the limit. Whenever they want, they will take that money back. And Income Tax Department gave notices to foreign portfolio investors to pay minimum alternate tax. But the Finance Minister in the budget stated that minimum alternate tax will not be applicable from 1st April 2015 because foreign portfolio investors do not have any permanent establishment in this country. And with regard to the taxation before April 1, 2015, he referred the matter to AP Shah Committee. AP Shah Committee categorically stated that it will not be applicable to foreign portfolio investors because of the reason their permanent establishment is not in our country. So the minimum alternate tax is applicable when the permanent establishment is in our country, and based on AP Shah Committee recommendations, government clarified that foreign portfolio investors are not coming under minimum alternate tax. And prior to April 1, 2015, after April 1, 2015, this minimum alternate tax will not be imposed on foreign portfolio investors because of sole reason they do not have permanent establishment in this country. Now the matter is clear. Foreign portfolio investors do not come under minimum alternate tax. right? So I explained clearly about what is minimum alternate tax and why it is not applicable for foreign portfolio investors. I hope you are clear about this. And the last one for this week, news analysis and features says, what do you understand by special category status? Lot of demands are coming up from several states, and special category status was promised to newly formed Andhra Pradesh state when the state reorganization took place. All of you are well aware, Telangana was formed from the combined state of Andhra Pradesh, and now the residual state of Andhra Pradesh was promised special category status. Similarly, there are several demands from states like Bihar. So, in this backdrop, I would like to explain you what is the special category status, and please don't forget, there is a vast difference between special status and special category status. Special status is constitutionally Jammu and Kashmir enjoys special status. As per the constitutional provisions, Constitution guarantees certain special provisions to Jammu and Kashmir, and these are political in nature. Their legislature enjoys certain powers in comparison to other states, that is as per constitutional provision, and this special category status is different. Special category status is basically financial help given to the states because of certain disadvantages. Because of certain disadvantages, financial status or financial help given to the states, that is special category status. The concept of special category status, we have to go back to 4th 5-year plan of 1969. At that time it was decided, as per the Godgill formula, in the 4th 5-year plan, it was decided the demand for central plan assistance first is to meet the requirement of Assam, Jammu and Kashmir and Nagaland. These three states' demands are to be met first, Assam, Jammu and Kashmir and Nagaland, and subsequently the balance will go to other states. And in the 5th 5-year plan of 1974-1979, it was decided to include Himachal Pradesh, Sikkim and the remaining northeastern states, making the total of 10 states, and for the first time during the 5th 5-year plan, these states were classified as special category states. These states were categorized as special category states for the first time during the 5th 5-year plan, and subsequently after the creation of Uttarakhand was also added, making a total of 11 states. The total 11 states at present which enjoy special category status are 7 sisters of the Northeast. All of you are well aware about 7 sisters of the Northeast as well as Sikkim. That means 8 states towards the northeastern region, and northern hilly states of Jammu and Kashmir, Himachal Pradesh and Uttarakhand. Please look into this map. These 11 states enjoy special category status. The special category status was given based on hilly terrain. The state should be hilly. Second one is a low population density or a sizable share of a tribal population, strategically located along the borders of the country, economic and infrastructure bottlenecks, and from the economic perspective, that state is non-viable if you look at the finances of the state. So, these are the conditions spelled out as per National Development Council. You may ask, what is National Development Council? National Development Council established in the year 1952, and as per the National Development Council recommendations or the guidelines given, these are the conditions to classify them as special category states, right? So, the further demands are now coming from Andhra Pradesh as promised in the state reorganization, and Odisha, Bihar and some other states are claiming special category status, right? And if you look at what are the benefits, and I listed the benefits given to the special category states up to 2014-15, and please do not forget, some of these benefits whatever I listed here were withdrawn in recent times, but in general the benefits given to special category states I listed out here, and most of the benefits pertain to grant. You may ask, what is grant? When the money is given as grant by the center to the states, they need not pay back. When the money is given as a loan, they have to pay back. When the money is given by central government to the states as grant, they are not required to pay back. And for special category states, most of the money given by center will be given as 90% grant and 10% loan. If you look at the various privileges enjoyed by special category states, this 30% of normal central assistance, total 30% of normal central assistance will go to special category states with grant loan ratio of 10:10. That means 90% will be given as grant, only 10% as loan. Second one is special plan assistance for projects. For specific projects, center gives a special plan assistance that will be given in the ratio of 90:10. That means 90% is grant. Then special central assistance will be given with 100% grant, and assistance to externally aided projects with grant loan ratio of 90:10, and under the accelerated irrigation benefit program, that is AIBP, and please don't forget, by replacing all the irrigation programs, now Pradhan Mantri Krishi Sinchai Yojana came into existence. Please don't forget, Pradhan Mantri Krishi Sinchai Yojana came into existence by amalgamating all these schemes now, and under accelerated irrigation benefit program, grant will be 90% in comparison to just 25% for other states. So these are the privileges being enjoyed up to 2014-15 by the special category states. And please don't forget, these special category states are northeastern states. There are 8 and 3 northern states, and most of these states are hilly states and having some disadvantage as far as their finances are concerned, and because of which these 11 states were categorized as special category states. And now there is a changed scenario. What changed? Now, as per the changed scenario after 1st April 2015, because 14th Finance Commission recommendations were accepted by the central government, as per 14th Finance Commission recommendations, the state's share of divisible pool of taxes. There are certain taxes collected by the central government which are to be shared between center and the states, and from the divisible pool of taxes, state's share is increased from 32% to 42%. There is a 10% increase, and as announced in the budget 2014-15, central assistance, special central assistance and special plan assistance were discontinued. Third point is the continuation of grants which are in vogue for the past 30-40 years is doubtful, and the quantum of money given by center to the special category states may also be reduced because of the reason that the state's share is increased from 32 to 42%. Fourth important point is, at present there are very few externally aided projects. That's why this grant to externally aided projects is not that significant now, because there are not many external aided projects. And the last one is, allocation under accelerated irrigation benefit program is also reduced substantially, and under these circumstances, specifically due to increase in the state's revenue from the divisible pool of central taxes, the money going to the special category states may be reduced substantially, and making lot of hue and cry with regard to special category states may not be that required or may not be warranted under these circumstances. Right friends, we discussed about 3 important issues this week. Have a nice day. Thank you.